Goodwin drives. Atkinson called for a foul. It's his fifth foul. Morehead State coach Sean Woods erupts, comes over to the bench. Woods just starts ripping into Atkinson. You can see he shoves him in the back, gets right there in his face, follows him as Atkinson then goes to sit down. Atkinson, a senior, second year with the program. This is his fourth school in 4 years. As for Woods, he coached his previous 4 seasons as Mississippi Valley State, where he reached the NCAA tournament with them last year. So this is not the first time Woods has gotten into the face of his players. We can flash you back to last Monday. That's when Morehead State was taking on Maryland, and you can see him there. Woods getting in the face of a few of the Morehead State players. They're not happy with what he was seeing. Woods played at Kentucky on the 1992 team that lost to Duke in the regional final. So Woods showing his ire at his team. That was back then, and we flash forward back to the game last night. So Woods still talking to Atkinson there on the bench. Kentucky wins this one 81-70. And Morehead's Milton Chavis, who's a senior forward, said of Woods' sideline demeanor, "It doesn't bother us, it's coaching. You have to accept coaching as a player." Junior forward Drew Kelly added, "It doesn't make us uncomfortable. We can handle it, and it makes us better." So now we welcome in college basketball analyst Lynn Elmore from Orlando, who's calling the Old Spice Classic today. And simply, what do you make of Sean Woods' actions, Lynn?
Well, I think obviously it was over the top from a perspective of a former player. Look, I know Sean Woods was geeked because he had a chance to beat his alma mater. But if you embarrass guys out on the floor, it's unfortunate. And you have teammates of this guy who are telling folks that that's okay, it's coaching. Well, it's not okay. You don't embarrass people out on the floor. And I think as coaches, you get more out of players by remaining positive. There are certainly positive ways to get the best out of your players, but embarrassing them on the floor, showing your ire, and really embarrassing yourself certainly isn't the way.
Lynn, what should, if any, the repercussions be for this behavior?
Well, I think the first time for Sean Woods, if in fact this is, I think he'll have a talk with the athletics director, and they'll talk about his interpersonal relationships with his team, and just as importantly, find ways to be able to handle his emotions out there. Because again, players look to their coaches for discipline, they look to them for mentorship, and they look to them obviously for conduct. And when you demonstrate that type of conduct out there, players are watching, and many times even unconsciously they often mimic that. So in the end, I think Sean Woods has to recognize that he is a model for his team and that he's got to comport himself a lot differently.
Lynn, pulling from your days with your experience as a player, how do you think you would have reacted as a player had you been in that situation?
I probably would have reacted the same way. I don't know if I would have cried, but I certainly would have taken it from the coach because he is the coach. He's the dominant figure out there. But obviously off the court, it would have been something very different. I certainly would have had to have a lot of people come and talk to me and console me and even keep me from doing something I probably didn't want to do. Now, the most important thing is if I were the parent of this young man, that would be something different. I certainly would be having a talk with Coach Woods behind closed doors, and I don't know if the volume of our discussion would be that low.
Lynn Elmore with the latest on Morehead State. Thank you.